Hello, traders. It is Monday, June 8th, and we're about 3 hours into trading. The market's pretty lackluster today. It's kind of what I've been describing over the course of the last week or so, that we're going to float higher. You can see here that the price range has been very compressed today. We're trapped basically between the close on Friday and the high of the day Friday. You can see how we've bumped up one, two, three times against that high. I don't think the market's going to have what it needs to break out. We're seeing a huge rotation into the laggards. Last week we had great news from ADP. They reported that the private sector jobs fell by 2.5 million, and that was much less than the 11 million that were expected. On Friday, we get this gangbuster unemployment report with 2.5 million jobs being added. That was way above estimates. So that's got people thinking that the market rally is going to continue and that the economic recovery is going to be fast and furious. I'm not quite so sure. I know that a lot of CEOs have been talking about Q2 being much worse than Q1. I think we're going to see a lot of losses in Q2, and I think that current valuations are going to be justified maybe at the end of Q3, maybe at the end of Q4, but the conditions are way ahead of themselves. Here's a bullish explosion alert on CHK. That's been triggering all day. My gosh, I got in this trade back around the $54 level right here when it broke out, and I got the alert, and I think it was 54.75, and then the stock got halted. I sold it for $56.75. I figured a $2 gain on this stock I'm more than happy with. And then the stock actually lifted off. It was up, I think, to about $77 from $54. Just an incredible move. These explosion alerts are incredible. We're getting them during the course of the day. The energy industry, energy stocks seem to be the hot play for today. So we're trying to pick a few of these off during the course of the day, but we're really not doing a whole lot more. I did also have a nice little short that I put on in pen. That is domestic gaming company. I think that casinos in the US are trying to get back on track, but they're spreading out the slot machines. They're limiting the number of people who can go into the casino. I think it's going to be a fairly long road to recovery. Plus, we don't know what the demand is going to be for people to go right back into the casinos or even restaurants for that matter. I think that everything is a bit ahead of itself. And if I take a look at the S&P 500, you can see how we've broken through the upper end of that trading range. We'll go into the daily chart, and you can see if I draw a line across the tops here, the market has broken out above that upper trading range, and that means that if we continue to see another two or three green candles, that we're likely to have a pullback back into that range. I'm going to click on the low right here, and I'm going to click on the low right here, and I feel that the market sometime in the course of the next month, is it going to happen today? Is it going to happen next week? Is it going to happen in 3 weeks? I don't know. But I do know that the probability of us having that pullback increases every day that the market gaps higher and floats higher on very, very light volume. So my ploy is not to call a top here, not to go out and buy puts, not to sell out of the money bearish call spreads, but to simply patiently wait on the sideline, trade very small size, stay engaged. I'm trading half size during the day. I'm trading quarter size in the afternoon, and I'm going to wait for the pullback. Well, what could possibly be that news that sparks a pullback? I don't know that either. Could be maybe a flare up in tensions with China. Whatever sparks that profit taking, here's what happens is that once you see profit taking, the sell programs start to kick in. Once the sell programs kick in, then bullish speculators get flushed out. And what that does is it drives the market down, and it may only be a drop that we see for a day or two. It doesn't have to be a prolonged 2 or 3 week deal. It can simply be big down day, followed by another big down day, another down day, and then we start bouncing and we're off to the races. It can come out of anywhere. I'm simply looking for us to retrace. Maybe it's SPY 300, maybe it's SPY 305. Whenever that support level is identified, that's when I'm going to reload That's when I'm going to get more aggressive with my longs and sell more out of the money bullish put spreads. Until then, I'm going to wait patiently for that window of opportunity. Right now, I think that if you're out there aggressively buying and you're not taking profits on your long positions, you're taking unnecessary risks. I feel that the upside is limited. You can see how the all-time high is right here at SPY 340. We're somewhere around 200 S&P points away from it. Boy, it's as if the last quarter never happened, and it's going to be pretty devastating for a lot of companies. So I'd encourage you to keep your trading very light. I am going to find a bullish trade for you. We're going to take a look at one that I posted last night. It was on Apple. So first, let's start with the market as we always do. You can see how we had this gap up, and my instructions in that video were to wait for the first hour, and if the low of the day was taken out, that we may have a chance for a market reversal. So you would do nothing. Well, that's what happened. The market drifted lower. We filled in that gap. So if we had held that open and we continued to move higher and we were through the high of the day from Friday, that would be a very bullish sign for the market. And in that instance, we would want to buy Apple. But we also needed to take a look at what Apple was doing. I'd mentioned to you on Friday that Apple looked really, really strong at a new all time high and that it could fuel the market move this morning as long as the market was strong. Well, what happened to Apple on the open today? The market was gapping higher. Apple was actually lower than the close on Friday, and it never even challenged the high of the day. It pulled back, and it was weak relative to the market. So, no trade. We needed to have a strong market and we needed to see relative strength in Apple. I didn't know Sunday night how this would play out. Now we know. So you have to have all these conditions and constraints for any trade in any type of environment. When the market's poised to move sideways and the action's very, very dull and very light volume, you've got to have all the conditions, all of the elements have to be in place. Only then can you have a very high probability of success. If we had all those elements, I still was advising to take profits later in the day. I don't believe that you should be long overnight calls right now. Yes, we could float higher, but I'm going to play it very, very safe, and I'm going to wait for those opportunities to set up. You can see how CHK keeps coming up on these explosion alerts. The stock is going absolutely crazy. NBR has been another one that's been very, very hot today. So let's go find a stock. I'm going to go into heavy buying. We do need to favor the long side because we're above major technical support levels, and the market has been floating higher. I like Tesla today. I think that that stock has a chance to continue to move higher. I found it on heavy buying, one of my favorite searches. You can see this gap higher right here. Stock has been able to preserve that gap higher. It's been moving up when the market's been flat. You can also see another gap higher right in here. I kind of like that 840 level right in here. That was resistance, 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 gap higher. That's also right around that opening price right there. So I took a look, and you can sell the Tesla 840 puts and you can buy the 835 puts. I would do that for a $1 credit. That is 5 points between the strike prices. If you bring in $1, that would represent a 25% return if it expires worthless, and I would be using the normal option expiration date, which is June 19th. So you'd have about 2 weeks worth of exposure on Tesla. I do like the fact that it's breaking out to a new relative high. I like the fact that it's had strength versus the S&P 500. I believe that this compression in here is going to hold and that low right there is going to hold. I like that trade. You've got plenty of breathing room and you only have 2 weeks left in that particular trade. Let's continue to go down the list. BA, super, super hot. Look at that big move up. I don't trust it. I would not be doing anything with this. I think BA's got a long road to recovery. I think the airline industry has a long road to recovery. BYND is another one that I do like. It's a little bit hot up here. I'd need to see a bit of a pullback, and then I'd be looking to sell a bullish put spread somewhere around that 132.50 level, maybe a 132.50, 130 bullish put spread I think would make sense. I like that support. I think it's going to hold, but The stock is on its high right now. It's had a huge run. Really like the price action in BYND. Certainly a stock that I would be looking to day trade on a pullback. Well, how would I time that? Well, I'm going to put an alert right here. And so that's a horizontal alert. If the stock pulls back, I'm going to know about it. I'm going to put another horizontal alert right here. Any pullback, I think, should be evaluated. You watch for support, wait for the market to look like it's finding some stability, and then you can buy it for a quick day trade. I would be in and out of that. But until I get a decent pullback on BYND, I wouldn't be selling that out of the money bullish put spread, and I'd like to keep my distance. This is a volatile stock. So somewhere around that 130 strike, maybe the 132.50, then I'd be looking to do a bullish put spread on it. But very nice compression, very nice breakout, really nice follow through, good volume. Through that prior high, you can see the tails above body that it's been able to get through. BYND looks like it wants to continue higher. I'm going to click through a couple of other stocks and we'll just take a look and see what else is on the list. And you're going to see a few decent ones here. A lot of energy stocks. That seems to be what's really rallying today. Energy sector's been super strong. PRU. And that was very easy. I just went into heavy buying, looked at the top candidates. That's what we do. We heavy buying, bullish run, relative strength 30. These are 3 searches that you can just keep pounding and pounding. Look at the top prospects. Look for those long green candles closing on their high. Try and join the move. Set passive targets, go to the sidelines, wait for the next opportunity. This is going to be an absolutely dead day. Look at this tight trading range. And you can see that we're a little bit overextended here. Don't know what's going to cause that initial wave of selling, but once it starts, I think bullish speculators are going to be flushed out. I think the market's going to come in a little bit for us, and that's what I'm waiting for. Be looking for that move. I think you should do the same. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to sign up for the YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so that you never miss these videos. They'll always have a trading opportunity in them and lots of education. Thank you. Keep it light. We'll see you in the morning. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.